Good morning everyone and welcome back. Today the heifers are coming home, so looking forward to that, and the calves are going to go. I think well actually it's supposed to rain and it's currently spitting. Not supposed to rain till later on, but they did say that if it was, they were just going to bring trucks, not trailers. So there might be 3 trucks bringing the heifers back. There's 76 of them, and the first truck is supposed to get here at 8:30ish. I think they're loading at Mervs at 7:30, which is right now. So they're about an hour away. After that first truck comes, we'll load the calves on and they will go the other way to where the heifers come from. Interestingly though, I did send it 6 cull cows to the works about 10 days ago, and it's actually dropped our somatic cell count. So that's something that we measure, or we get tested on it every milk pickup. It's something that all dairy farmers around the world get tested on actually. We do get graded if we get over 400, and it's measured in hundreds and thousands, so 100,000. So when I say 400, it's actually 400,000. If you get over that and you get penalised too many times in a month, it will start costing you a percentage of the milk you send. So it is good to keep it under about 150. This time of the year we sit at around about 170 to sort of 200,000. We sort of can creep over the odd time. It was sitting at about 180 before I sent those 6 cows away, and now it's down to about 100 to sort of 110. So it made a massive drop. Some of those cows must have been quite high, and by culling them it's brought it right down. So it's funny though, because I have sent cows away in the past which have had really high cell count and you sort of don't notice it, but yeah, I don't know, this time it just made a difference. And there is a little bit of an incentive to keep it low, because every kilogram of milk solid that we send that's under 150, we get an extra 3 cents on top of it. So it's not much, but it all does add up, and it's worth it. So for the season we want to try and keep under 150. Last year we were about 148, and this season we're at 146 at the moment. But if we keep getting pickups that are under it, it'll drop it. So we could be sitting early 140s, which would be good. That'd be a massive record for us. It's pretty much just a tool that we use to see the quality of milk that we're sending is good. Like if we do get spikes in it, it must mean there would be a case of mastitis in the herd somewhere. But it is just after 8 now. I'm on my last row. I'm just waiting for them to milk out over here, and I just seen that one of the trucks has gone down the road with the first lot a little bit earlier than expected. And it means it's going to be a little bit of a pain, because these girls have got to walk past down there before I can do what I want to do. There's the first lot. Marty actually just gave me a ring before and said if we're pushed for time, we'll just put the R1s on one of the other 2 trucks that are coming next. So that's what we're going to do. Hey girls, looking good. Curious, want to say hello. I've just put these yearlings just in this paddock here, which is like right next to the shed. So what I'm going to do is wait for the last row to come down, which they should be coming down soon, and then they need to get past because they're going the way out there. These 2s are going in the paddock just through there. Once all the milking cows have gone past, I will let these girls out into the race. Then I need to bring these calves in onto the feed pad. Or maybe I'll wait till the truck, actually, that might be better. I'll wait till the next truck comes. If we're going to put the calves on that one, I'll let that load, plus these girls, they can go wait in the race. I'll shut the gates and then we can run these calves straight into the yard and on the truck. Go on girly girlies, and go and chew some grass in the race for a little bit. Forgot to count them, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. That means I must have done pens of 6. So there's 3 pens along the bottom on the trucks, and then there's another 4 along the bottom in the trailers, but I didn't think we were doing trailers today. I'm not sure, maybe the next 2 might have them, because they're not going to fit 76 in 3 trucks, are they? And there are 2 pens up the top on the truck, and there's 3 pens up the top on the trailers, but they won't go upstairs because it's not really worth it. We don't really want them to. It's only half an hour down to Mervs, so I'd rather them not. These are sort of heavily in calf. They're only a couple months out from calving. If we were grazing them down, say like the Manawatu or Hawke's Bay or something, you know, and they had a long trip, they were coming 3-4 hours, then we'd go upstairs because it makes the load cheaper coming from that sort of distance. But when it's nice and close like this, it's not worth it, and I'd rather them just keep on the bottom. They don't like going upstairs with in calf stock if they can avoid it, if it's nice and close. Perfect timing. No trailer on this truck though. It's a new addition. Usually don't have this board here. Come on, girly girlies, off you go. Number 5, pretty sure she's empty. I'm going to unload both these trucks so then we can both fill them up with calves instead of chucking calves on there then having to run those ones off. Just makes it easier. Right, hopefully you're going to the yard alright, come on. Oh, look at that, too easy. Don't speak too soon, I guess. Come on. It's a new truck, that one, or new to them maybe, and the trailer doesn't butt up properly, so that's why they put that board across the back. Calves are off, and the heifers will be happy enough just waiting in the race here. There's a little bit of grass up the sides they can eat. Just leave them until the next lot comes. So those 2 trucks are going to go back and they're going to load up again and then come back here. So once they bring them all back, I'll get to the whole lot and then put them into the paddock just there. Should see them in about maybe just over an hour by the time they unload and load, maybe an hour and a half round trip. Chuck them on their break now that they're all here. They're always so friendly when they come back from Mervs. They do an awesome job down there, him and his wife. Come on. This paddock is really, really wet. That's why I've put them in there. I've actually fenced up the middle there so they can't get on that side. There's a drain over there, and I was getting the digger in to clean it out, and I reckon it'd help sort of drain this paddock out a bit. But they'll be alright here today. And then we'll move them up the top there closer to the shed. I'm actually going to put them on some annual probably pretty soon because that needs chewing off. It's getting almost a little bit long. And we've got teat, or I've booked in teat sealing for them for like the 25th, so we need to start running them through the shed to get used to it. I need to DNA test them sort of, well, as soon as possible really. I think they're booked in for the 15th to get those results, and yeah, I haven't got long to do that. Plus I've also got to tag them as well. I want to tag them before they calve this year, but there's no real rush to do that. That's probably like a June job, because I can't do it till all the cows are gone and it frees up a few numbers. So we'll do that, but they'll be happy there. Geez, that wind's picked up. It's actually pretty strong at the moment. There's no rain yet, which is a good thing, because I want to bring the cows and put them in this new grass. I've actually just fenced this paddock in half. I'm going to go and get them and stick them in here for a couple of hours. An easy way to tell if it's sort of ready to go is you come like in a patch like this, grab a handful just like a cow's tongue would, and you give it a yank. See how it's all leaf? There's no roots that have come out with it, so it's ready to go. Girls are pretty happy, they're all sitting down. Hopefully they come. I'm a little bit earlier than normal, so come on. Yeah, sweet as. Come on in. Might be a little bit challenging when I get to here, because usually they come down here to the feed pad, so they're used to that, and to get them to go at this time of the day that way, because the paddock is just there, might be a little bit hard, but we'll see how we go. Easy as, it didn't even worry them. It's actually quite a big break. I might have given them too much, but there is a little bit of a risk when you put cows on new grass like this. I think it's worse in the annual than it is in this sort of permanent, because it just grows so fast. And that is around nitrate poisoning. So they say, or you do hear, that it's better to put them in on a nice sunny day in the afternoon when the levels have dropped a little bit. I don't have that luxury. It's not sunny today, and it doesn't look like it's going to be for the next sort of week. This needs grazing, so the best, or the next best thing is, I have put them on a break this morning. That's where I got them out of before, so they're coming in here and they're not so hungry and they're not going to gorge themselves. And see, there's quite a few maize plants in here from harvesting. It's just seed that's fallen on the floor, or cobs on the ground I should say actually, but the cows have already chewed this stuff off. They quite like it, they sort of go for it first. Every year you do hear of a story that somebody has put their cows on, they've lost a few from it. Hopefully that's not going to be me. I'll come back in a couple of hours, it'd be nice if they're all standing up. I'll just go back to our sow counting and explain something, because I find it quite interesting. But every year I have a consultation with our vet Martha, so I go in there and we sit down and we sort of plan ahead for the next season and sort of what's coming up too, if we have farm goals, how we want to achieve them. Dry off drive's just around the corner, sort of 2 to 3 weeks away probably. So we sort of go over that, how we want to approach that. And one of the things that she shows me, or we looked at, is around the sow count. So this is actually last season's one, and these are all the cows here. They're ranked, so anything that's got a red square means it was over 400. Oh no, that's 300 and it's red. Oh no, that's orange. So anything that's red's over 400, so orange is getting there. Yellow might be between 100 and 200. So anything that's white is good. You want them being white, and red means that they're high, so they're bad. So that is last season's one, and then this is this season's one. So it is completely different, although we do have one more herd test to go to find out some information and find out which cows are high at the end of the season and which cows we will be dry cowing. But the interesting thing is that you come down here and see these cows. So this was high last year, so I would have dry cowed it, and then it's still got high herd test this coming season. So the dry cow hasn't worked. Same with these 3 cows here. They were all dry cowed. Hasn't worked. What we want to see is cows like these 3 here. So they've been high at dry off. They were all dry cowed, and then this coming season they were all low, so the dry cow definitely worked for them. We sort of came to the conclusion was that these cows, there's only 9 of them, which is pretty good to see, is that they should really be on the cull list and go, because effectively they've just been high the whole season and we haven't been able to cure them. Although you see a cow like this, see, it's been high the whole season, but it was low at the end of dry off last year, so it hasn't been treated. So that's a cow that you can target this year. Give it a dry cow, and hopefully it'll work and sort of respond to it. But it is cool to see that we are making obvious visual progress. We're making progress in the herd. It's been a couple of hours, so these girls can come off. They're looking alright. Everything's looking good so far. Well, that's awesome. They've all walked out of the paddock, so that is a great sign. But you can see they've taken the sort of top off it, which is exactly what I wanted. There's the difference there. And they haven't grazed it down too hard. So perfect. I'll do the same again tomorrow, so they'll get the other half of the paddock up there, then they'll come down at lunchtime and they'll get the other half of this paddock. I was wondering whether the day after I just put them straight in there in the morning, but I could probably fence that in half and the next one, so I'd get 6 days worth of breaks here. It might just be safer to do that and then just give them a morning paddock, then shift them, then feed pad, then afternoon shift, so they're getting like 4 feeds a day. But I'd rather be safe than sorry, that's for sure. One other thing I do have to be a little bit careful with as well is that they don't blow up or get bloat. So see how they're quite round at the moment. That was another reason that they wanted to be full going in there. Oh, actually see this cow, look at that. She's got a big full tummy. I will keep an eye on them tonight just to make sure once they get to their paddock, because if they do blow up, they get real big, they lie down and they get cast, and then they can die that way too. So seems like everything's against me, but they should be sweet. Hopefully, fingers crossed. But that'll pretty much wrap it up for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Thumbs up like always, and apart from that, see you next time.